welcome to the Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel. I'm your host, Solomon Savoy Jr. Last week we talked about discussing the supervisors and managers that might be narcissists, and we went up to, vice presidents or anybody in a leadership position. I'm going to link that video actually in the description with this video, and we're going to get into this video. We're going to be talking about, because I know y'all think I was just talking about just supervisors and managers, but actually we're going to talk about your coworkers, because coworkers, they have some of them that are narcissists also. So it's not just people that's in management, because you got to think about it. People that's in management probably once was your coworker, so therefore they moved up and got into this position, and they're still a narcissist. They didn't change. So we're going to be digging into that and going over 8 different things that your coworker might be a narcissist. So let's get into that. One that, something personal that you brought up, and you figure just between you and that coworker, and somehow, some way, it actually gets back to everyone, and you're trying to figure out how did the information get out when you only told 1 or 2 people. Well, just like the supervisor, sometimes you have people around you that you can't trust. You can't share all your information with people. That's one thing. I said the same thing last week on the video, and I'm saying it again because it's important at work that you realize that, hey, I'm at work, I'm here to do a job. Some of these people are not my friends. Some of them are in competition with you to be able to move up, maybe take your position. Maybe you're in the supervisor role or the manager role. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you want to be training the people below you to be able to take your position. But when they're gunning for your position in a different way, they take you out so they can get that position, that's a whole different ball game. And we'll talk about that on a whole nother video. But this one, we're going to just stick to the coworkers and why we think they're narcissists and things of that nature. I want to bring up a scripture, Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So basically what I get out of that scripture and what they're saying here in Proverbs is that, people, their mouth, they can hurt you real bad. That's why they're saying death is in the power of the tongue. So meaning they'll do things and say things, basically saying things that will get you maybe written up or even fired in some cases. And that'd be the coworkers that you're talking to about your personal issues or you think you can trust. So that's where that narcissism or narcissist trait comes into play. So you're telling someone something that what they did, they built up confidence in you and trust in you, and you think you can share the information with them, on a personal level, like you would share with maybe a brother or a sister or something like that, or a real good friend. But at the end of the day, these people are coworkers, or some people like to call them associates. So they're really not your friend at the end of the day. And I used to tell people that on jobs, and as people go watch this video, some people just not your friends. Now, I've had some friends at jobs, I will admit, but some jobs, it's just coworkers. We never went out, never went out to eat, never been to your house, you never been to my house. I never met your wife or anything, your children, anything like that. You never met my wife or children. Probably not friends. We never really hung out. I mean, we just coworkers, and we there to do a job. We getting paid to do a job, and I can work with anybody. So I will say that I work with anybody. But at the end of the day, dealing with these people at work, you have to set up boundaries. Just like in life, we need to set up boundaries. At work, we need to also set up boundaries. You got to practice discernment, especially telling business. You have to practice discernment. You have to figure out some of these people. And I'm one of the people, I like to sit back and observe and get to know these people on a more personal level before I share any kind of information. And you best believe the information that I'm sharing is not anything that I care what they, if they tell someone else or anything like that. So that doesn't bother me. The information I'm sharing with you might be like, I caught a flat tire. Simple stuff. My wife went shopping. You might not know what she bought, but she went shopping. So does that affect me if you go tell somebody? No, it doesn't. Am I going to tell you different things that's going on with my children at home or my wife and things of that nature? That's things you probably need to keep to yourself. Unless it's somebody that you really, really trust. But if it's a narcissist, they're going to use that information against you at some point. So just realize that and be aware that you can't do that with everybody. Again, narcissists will use your personal business against you. Sometimes, especially when you're making things happen for yourself, let's say you're trying to get them into their position as a supervisor or a manager or maybe a director or things of that nature, director of operations or regional operations manager, whatever position you're in, you're trying to move up, sometimes it's not meant for you to tell that coworker or the person that you think your friend, that guy or that woman that you think is really, your road dog. Maybe you shouldn't tell them, because sometimes you'll tell them like, oh, they trying to move up, they trying to leave me, or they think they're better than me. And we all know it's not that I'm better than you. I want better for myself. So therefore, I'm trying to move up so I can better myself. I went and got these degrees for me, not for us. It don't say Solomon Savoy Jr. and somebody else on their degree. No, it's just me. So, things like that, you might want to keep to yourself until you get the promotion and you actually can say, hey, look here, John or Tim or whoever the person is, Sarah or, whoever. You can tell them at that point, hey, I got the promotion. And you're going to see if they're really your friend, because if they're supportive and happy for you, you can see it in their mannerisms, So things like that, you want to just, it's better just to do it on your own and then don't tell too many people. And then, you let them know later on. Next, you ever told a coworker that you were looking for a job only to be called in the manager's office? The reason why I wrote this down, or I'm bringing this up, actually, it just happened to me at a job. I told a coworker, hey, look, I'm looking for a job, because it just wasn't fitting where I was. And I knew it wasn't for me, and I needed to move on and go somewhere else. And I told him, and best believe I got called into the manager's office that week. Called into the manager's office, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Again, I should have kept that information to myself. It's one of them things where, you find a job, you put your 2-week notice in if you're going to do that. Or you can do like some people say, notice I ain't here for 2 weeks. Do I agree with that? Hey, to each his own. Do what you got to do. It's your job, But, yeah, you get called into the manager's office and then you sitting there, you looking dumbfounded. Like, I can't believe this person told. Again, you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with a liar, you're dealing with somebody that's manipulative. So these things, they're going to do against you. Anything that they can do to hurt you, that's what they're going to do. And I know this business, this fate-based workplace is based off of work and narcissists at work, but it happens in life also. It's just I took the thing to really deal with people at work and things and issues that they are going through. Okay. So moving right ahead. So we're going to talk about 8 steps your coworker might be a narcissist. 8 steps. 8 steps that I came up with that might tell you that your coworker is a narcissist. And you might, you might agree with some of them. It might be more than that. It might be 10, 12, 15, 20 steps. Or signs, I should say, But hey. And that's probably more likely. 8 signs your coworker might be a narcissist. So number 1, they can't take criticism. So you tell your coworker something, just trying to help them out in their situation, and they can't take constructive criticism. They want to argue with you and tell you you're wrong and things of this nature, when your intent was to help them out and make sure that they do better at their job. But sometimes you can't help narcissists. You got to do it on your own. You got to let them do it on their own. You can't help them. Let them help themselves. That's what God is for. They can pray to God just like we can. So just like I can pray to God and go out there and have a conversation with my Father, they can do the same thing. Or they can choose not to, which a lot of narcissists, hey, it's a whole different story. We'll cover that later on another video. Hey, it is what it is. Step 2. You ever went to lunch with a coworker and they ordered an alcoholic beverage instead of food on a work day? It's a part of substance abuse. Now, are these people narcissists? That's yes and no. It could be just an alcohol abuse. That's a whole different thing also, but it relates when you think about it. It's a form of narcissism. They're doing abuse. And I'm saying alcohol, but it could be other things also. It doesn't just have to be alcohol. It could be other things as well. Number 3, narcissists like to dominate the conversation. You ever been in a conversation with somebody and you can't get a word in? You like, but can't get a word in. It's all about them. They got to talk about themselves. And everything that you've done, or you mentioned that one of your friends done, they've done it. Or they got a friend. And you say you was a helicopter pilot, they was a helicopter pilot. And you say you ran in the 50-mile run in California, they ran in that too when they was 8. If you say you drove for NASCAR or your cousin drove for NASCAR, they've done that too. Everything you do, they try. It's a one-up. Me and my wife was talking about that yesterday. It's a one-up game. Whatever you done, they done it better and know somebody that did it better. So it's part of the narcissist game. And you gotta realize that when you're talking to these people that you can't tell them all these information. And you gotta realize when you do share this information, you might be in a crowd or a group of friends, you share this information, and you got that one person, don't go back and forth with them because it's probably a lie. 9 times out of 10 it's a lie. It's nothing to do with you. It's just that's how they are and that's what you're gonna get. Okay. Number 4. Sometimes narcissist behavior can destroy your relationship and your own well-being. Meaning that at work, they go destroy. They new to the job. Let's do this scenario. They new to the job and they come in, they're a narcissist. They see you the hot person on the block, like everybody was talking about you, how good you are, things that you've done for the companies that you've been here. They're gonna try to destroy whatever friendships you have with people, whether it's managers, supervisors, maybe you are the manager. They're going to try to take everybody up under you and use them against you, turn everybody against you. Again, that happens in life and it happens at work also. I know you've seen that. I've seen it happen where that new person come in within 3-4 months. People that you've been friends with for years are looking at you funny, trying to figure out why. That's what communication come in at. You got to sit there, you got to talk to these people and figure out what's going on. There's going to be a common denominator. Everybody going to say that same person, oh, well, Paul or Tim or whoever, that's how they are at work. And, hey, they've been saying all these different things about you like they knew you. But they don't know you because you just met them. You've been knowing them the same amount of time as, everybody else, 2-3 months. So it don't take long. So just, watch who you hanging with and, just look out for that. When they start turning people against you. When you see 1 or 2 people start, distancing themselves away from you and not really going to lunch with you or just know something, it's not you, it's probably something going on. You need to figure out and start talking to them and figure out if they tell you, Teamwork isn't in your coworker DNA. They not part of it. They don't want to be part of a team. It's all about me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Me, I. Team don't have I in there. Neither does work, but they're going to consider themselves before they consider you. So if it's a teamwork environment and you're thinking that, hey, we're going to do this as a team, you assign, let's say you're in a manager position, you assign all these different people to do different things. Hey, telling you, teamwork is not part of their thing. They're going to be the one that's distant and not wanting to do things and just don't want to share with the group like ever. And when they do share, it's probably something to benefit them. So number 6, they always feel entitled. For some reason, they always feel entitled. So when promotion come up, raises, things of that nature, they always feel that they should get it. They've been there the longest, so they should have it. It's not always the case because just because you've been there the longest, if you haven't moved up before I got there and I move up before you, you can't blame me. You only can blame yourself. Think about it. You've been there 10 years. Within year 1, I went from a regular worker to, let's say, supervisor, line supervisor or whatever. But you still a regular worker. How can you get mad at me? You've been there 8 years. You had 8 years to move up, to get in a position to be way higher than what I could ever reach in my first year. But again, the only person they can blame is themselves. So hey, move right along. Another Bible verse I want to bring here. Another verse from Proverbs, good verse. Proverbs 12:21. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Let's think about that for a second. I'll say it again. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Think about it. You're doing everything you have to do. You're reading your Bible, praying. You're doing what you have to do at work. There's no mischief that's going to happen to you. Now, will people do things to you? Yes, they will. That's what we're talking about. Yes, the narcissist will do things to you. Now, if you look at the second part of that verse, it says wicked should be filled with mischief. Think about the things that narcissists do. It's mischief. It's evil intent. It's something to kill, steal, and destroy. Now, they might not necessarily go as far as killing you. In some cases, they will. But they will steal and destroy. They will try to destroy your character, destroy your reputation, destroy your job, anything about you they want to try to take out, they're going to do it. So just be prepared for that. Just remember that. And I'm a firm believer, reading the Bible daily, trying to get that word in you. And then also, you want to also pray daily. Whether it's by yourself, with your wife, with a friend, even at work. Hey, it's okay to close your door if you're in the office, say a prayer, talk to God. If you're having a bad day, just talk to him. Especially if the narcissist is bothering you or got you feeling kind of bad, it's okay to talk to him. So with the proverb verse, evil people do evil things, basically. Number 7, social media is the true friend, not you. And I haven't had social media. The only one I have really is LinkedIn. That's the only one I had until now. Now you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, obviously YouTube. So I'm on all of Pinterest and everything, but that's to promote the business. So before that, I wasn't on social media, just LinkedIn. I really wasn't on there until about the last 4 or 5 months where I really started engaging and God started bringing different people into my life. I was like, I got to do this. I got to do this. And that's where this whole business idea and the plan, everything came from within the last, 4 or 5 months. It's just getting off the ground and finding my niche. So, don't get me wrong. Like I said, a lot of people on social media, a lot of people do good things on social media. I'm seeing some good things on Instagram, making contacts with people on Instagram and Facebook a little bit, and just realizing, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Do they have narcissists on there? Sure they do. I mean, they're everywhere, But at work, just gotta realize, they engaging in social media and doing things, and you might follow them on social media. Like, this post is not, you talk about God, but then I call them two-faced, because they talking about God in one sentence, but then they're talking about all this other craziness on Facebook or in person, And I'm just saying Facebook, but any one of the social medias, obviously, but it can be any one of those. But you gotta realize, again, you gotta practice discernment and realize that the people that you hang around with can bring you down. So it's just like going into a store and your friend robs somebody. You're gonna get arrested too for that robbery because you was in there. Now, hopefully you got a good lawyer and, you believe in God, you're faithful, and maybe they can dictate that, hey, you didn't have anything to do with it at all and your friend really just did this on a whim. Hopefully that happens. But if not, you're going to get arrested and you might do jail time and didn't do anything. So it's the same thing at work. You're dealing with this narcissist. So it's, especially like, different jobs. Sometimes you'll get in trouble for the other person. And it sucks, but that's how it happens. Okay. And then the last one, number 8. Now this video went a little bit longer than what I thought. But number 8, we're going to go, the narcissist will try their best to use you and throw you basically under the bus. So again, it goes back to you telling them information, personal information that people just shouldn't know. So you tell them this information in honesty and truthful, and you bring sincere. Maybe something happened. Sometimes you just can't tell these people because it might be 2-3 months later they're going to use that against you. That personal information, and tell people you want people laughing at you or talking behind your back and things of that nature. It's because that narcissist. And when I say it's not just one at the job. It could be multiple. Let's get that, out there. It can be more than one. It could be 2, 3, 4. Depending on the size of it. If it's 4,000 people, just imagine how many of those people are narcissists. And then, like I said last week, some of them are in management positions. Some of them are lower positions. You might be working with this guy or this woman. She's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. And they're not even in supervisors. They're just coworkers. And they're doing little things behind you trying to figure out why am I getting in trouble for things or who's telling on me. It's it's a snitch or, a tattletale, whatever word you want to use. But it's a narcissist. They're telling on you trying to get your position. Especially if you just got promoted and you come around with a fancy new car or whatever the case is. You got to realize that. So I just want you to know that, again, narcissists are not just supervisors, managers, or vice presidents. It can be just your coworker, the person you're working with every day. You start looking at some of the things they're doing and the way they act, it's going to tell you some things about them. And then once you dig into narcissists a little bit deeper, you'll be able to figure out that you know what, Solomon right. And not just me, you ain't gotta believe just me. You can read books and things of that nature and you can figure out maybe this coworker is a narcissist. Never caught on. I just had a conversation with a guy the other day. I won't say his name, but we were talking and we realized that one of our managers, ex-managers, he's a narcissist. And when you start talking about it, I'm like, you know what, you're right. I didn't realize it. T just said it, and we start thinking about things that he has done. He is a narcissist. So, hey, like I said, I'm learning more about it also, and I'm here to teach you more about it. And hopefully we can learn together. And, you know, like I said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to the right, and don't forget to like this video. I will be posting every Wednesday on YouTube, and hopefully I get to see you around weekly. So this is our second video. And like I said, I will link the video from last week so you can go back and watch that if you haven't watched that. And again, like and subscribe so we can grow the subscription so you can be the first one to get the content that I'm posting on Wednesday. That's all I have for this video. Be blessed.